Hi Fam Bam, welcome back to the Simplified series. We are continuing our Things I No Longer Buy series, and today we're going to focus on home office and business. Whether we have a home business, we own a business, we're network marketing, we have a side hobby, simply by looking at the big office stores we have like Staples or Office Depot, Office Max, it's really easy to get inundated with a lot of clutter and office supplies, or maybe not know where to start or what you need. So I thought that by sharing my list of things I no longer buy for business and office might help you gain some perspective depending on what it is you do, and maybe help you get started by things that you can omit or things that you might not need. As always, if you like this video, let me know by hitting thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments down below, or if you'd like to add anything else to this list, I'd love to know down below and why. And subscribe if you haven't already to receive more on how to level up your current reality. Make sure you turn on the bell notifications too. So let's go ahead and begin. The first thing I no longer buy is filing cabinets and or filing boxes. Most of our statements and things can be chosen as paperless delivery or email delivery, and I prefer digital paperwork. A, we save trees. B, it's much easier to find and file those kind of things. It's in a smaller box, and you could put these in like fire safe boxes so you can keep those files pretty safe, and they can be stored in the cloud if it doesn't contain pertinent information or sensitive information. And you also save a ton of space. So I do have this magazine rack that I received from my father-in-law, and it's got some paperwork that is more relevant or more current, but then as soon as we can file them or shred them out, we go ahead and do that. So we no longer have these stacks of filing cabinets and boxes, which is super, super nice. The second thing I no longer buy is how-to books. It's easy to want to purchase a lot of books on how-to accounting, how to start a business, how to market. We have the internet right here. We have all the books we have right here. And even if I wanted an actual book title, I just grab the Kindle edition, stick it on my phone, unless I feel like I need to highlight or mark and that sort of thing in the book, which is very rare. Most of the time I actually like learning online, taking courses from Linda. It's a great resource. I'll stick it down below. It's just an amazing place to get a lot of information and to get a lot more efficiently than sitting down and reading a book, and then again saving paper, saving space, etc. The third thing that I no longer get is a scanner and copier. We do have a printer because we print out a lot of paperwork, like contractual stuff for our clients, tax paperwork that we might need to mail in, as well as paperwork for project sheets and things to keep us all organized. But we have a laser printer that only prints in black and white, and we don't have a scanner or a copier. Our cameras are really good now that taking a picture flat and just cropping it out makes for a really good scanner, and it also saves you money and space because those machines can be really expensive and take up a lot of space. So I remember I bought this like scanner wand a couple years ago, and it just stayed in the desk drawer because every time I had to take a picture of a piece of paper and send it to like my accountant, that's all I did. I'd take this picture and send it, and I'm like, oh, I'm totally not using this scanner wand. So I kind of wish I didn't buy it, and it actually turned out nicer and more flat on the phone than it was to try to like scan this thing over and over again until it came out absolutely perfect. So the fourth thing on my list that I don't buy is a shredder. If you deal with a lot of sensitive information that you have to put on paper and then get rid of, this might be a good investment. We rarely shred anything because all of our sensitive documentation is typically done on a third-party site that encrypts it and keeps that space and makes sure that it's like legal signing. So it makes it super easy. And if we did want to shred anything, we either just like cut it up by hand, do it really well, like I'll burn something, stick it in the fireplace, or you can take your boxes actually to like Staples or Office Max and they will shred it for you for a very minimal cost. Number 5 is a desktop computer. While I have a desktop computer, I probably would never buy one again unless I absolutely had to, meaning it was like the last resort to get the device or the machine that I needed or wanted. I wish I didn't get it because when something happens like Hurricane Irma, or if we have to travel and I want to take some of my work with me, I have a really hard time putting this thing back in its giant box and like sticking it in, and it's just precarious, it's bulky, it's obvious it's a computer, which isn't really fun to flash around. So I would still have an office space with my desk. I would just have a laptop, and if I needed a bigger screen, I would be getting a separate screen that I can just plug in and unplug as needed. Number 6 on my list is a colored printer. I mean, unless you have a really nice one and you specialize in actual prints, I don't really see a need for a colored printer. If I did get a colored printer, it would be LaserJet, not inkjet. I really don't like the inkjet stuff. Like I said, we have a black and white laser printer. Even a printer itself is discretionary because we print a lot and it just saved us money and it was more efficient. We have that printer, but I would almost say that you can omit the printer altogether, especially if you're not printing a lot. All you need to do is stick your paperwork on a thumb drive, go to Office Depot or Staples, and they will print it for you at like 5 or 10 cents a piece. It's really super easy. Number 7 is an office phone as far as like a landline or a VoIP goes. We do have a business phone line, but it is cell phone or Google Voice. But to have like a receiver that sits on my desk, we don't need that anymore. We got like hands-free Bluetooth and these devices that go in your pocket. Some people like having them, especially if you're making and receiving calls regularly, like your call center, or that's a big part of what you do. Because we do consulting. Most of our consulting is done on like Google Hangouts or like Skype. We really don't have a need to have an actual office phone. And I think a large part of that is just coming with the evolution of technology and how accessible phones are now as compared to what they used to be or are still like in some areas. Number 8 is a wall or desk calendar. I used to love the desk calendars because it just sits right there. And I'm still primitive in the way that I have like my to-do list is actually in a journal because I like just taking the book with me and then having it open on the desk, and I like making it colorful and actually writing it down. But as far as my calendar goes, I really like Google Calendar and iCalendar for Apple, and it just makes it accessible anywhere I go. I can share it with anybody who needs to see it, and I can like only share certain calendars with them. So maybe just like our meeting times or our project due dates, and it just makes it accessible no matter where I go. Plus, if I spill like water or something on it, it's not going to get ruined because it's just on this thing, and I love having that accessible. And you can also make it editable by different team members or people that you're with. So if my husband set a dentist appointment for himself, he can stick that on our personal calendar, and I'll be able to see that I'm not going to schedule anything for our family during that time, etc. So I really like the digital calendars. Number 9 is like cup holders for your pens, or like those little desk organizers. I mean, if you use things like sticky notes and paper clips and stuff and you want to have that accessible, that's great. I don't really use that stuff. I like having one pen, it sits on the top of my desk, and then the rest of the time all the extra stuff gets stored in these bins. Extra pens, highlighters, sticky notes, paper clips, whatever. If we need that stuff, it just goes here. I like things to just be decluttered and non-distracting while I'm working. I just want to focus on my work, and I want to feel like the space is clean and comfortable so that my mind is clear and comfortable so that I can actually do what it is that I need to do without being distracted or just flooded with all these things that I'm surrounded by. The last thing is a mouse pad. I actually like using a mouse, and when I move back to my laptop, I will probably get a mouse to use externally. But I don't use a mouse pad anymore, because the laser tracker on it is pretty dang good at not needing a mouse pad. Even though I have this like white reflective surface of a desk, I do have my to-do list journal or book on the actual desk, and it serves as a mouse pad as well. So that's just really worked out for myself. And I don't know about you guys, but I've always mouse pads are one of those things that I just don't like. They look funky, they're in the way all the time, like they're just, I don't know, I've never liked them. So the mouse pad is the last thing on my list for business or office items that I no longer buy. So I hope you guys found this list helpful. I know we've done a lot of free checklists. If you do want a checklist on this, let me know in the comments below. I would have to think about what kind of business and if we can make it more general for a home office checklist. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all enjoy your day. Remember to be good, be great, most of all, be grateful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.